Hey, what's up everyone? Dannylightning back with another video. So warrobots update 11.2. The final notes are out. It's going to show all the rebalance stats and all the new stuff coming to the game. So let's check out the new stuff first, and then we'll go try and take a look at the 1 million items being rebalanced, or at least that's what it feels like. There's so many of them, it's crazy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to take a look at, there is a brand new Egyptian robot called Teth, and I think this thing's going to be pretty crazy. As far as durability, it's got a bunch of shields and defense systems and everything else. First off, this has a crazy new ability, so this thing fires off like a little rocket, and once the rocket hits something, it basically teleports to that rocket. So it's basically got a shooting teleporter. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. It's kind of crazy. You can read the little thing right there, but it fires the translocator rocket. Once the rocket hits an enemy, a location, or goes as far as possible, then Teth will teleport to wherever that rocket landed, basically. This robot also has a defense system, kind of like, the leech or something, where it takes a lot less damage. So as you're not taking damage, that charges up. So what you want to do is make sure when you're not taking damage, when you're not in a fight, you want to get back behind cover or something and let that guy's defense system charge. And then you can come out and fight with a full defense system. Then when it's decharged or depleted or whatever, get back to cover and then let that defense system charge back up. That's pretty much how I would say you want to play this thing. And also, this thing has a physical shield built in, and if your physical shield gets broken or damaged, well, get back to cover and hang out for a while, and your physical shield will come back after you haven't taken damage for X amount of time. So basically, this thing has replaceable defense systems and replaceable shields, but you have to be out of the fight, back behind cover, not taking damage for both of those things to work. So that's pretty interesting. It seems like it's going to be kind of a camper robot if you look at it that way. It says it's going to have 2 light weapons, 1 medium weapon, and 1 heavy weapon, which is also crazy in my opinion. It's got decent amount of speed. I mean, it's going to be a crazy robot. It's going to be a super crazy robot. I mean, that's a lot of firepower on this thing. 2 lights, a medium, and a heavy. That is a lot of firepower. Now we have the new weapons, the Hedjet, the deshert, and the pshent. I'm probably saying those very wrong, but it launches hovering mines, guys. A weapon launching hovering mines. So the mines will start orbiting around the host if no target is hit directly. Once the enemy enters their effective range, the mines lock on and dash towards the target, detonating for massive damage. So this is kind of like a homing mine weapon. This is going to be very different than anything we've seen before. It's going to be weird and interesting, I would say. Now, the one thing about these weapons is they only have a 150 meter range. So these are extremely short range weapons. So you got to be really close to somebody to be able to use these. So make sure you put these on a robot that you're comfortable playing up close and personal, because 150 meters is pretty much next to nothing. You pretty much got to be like right up against somebody for these things to work. Now they do have a 6-second reload, so that's pretty average. That is a fast reload time. And yeah, I'm expecting these new Egyptian weapons to be pretty crazy, to tell you the truth. Next up, we have the new Scarabeus drone. I hope I'm saying that right, but this is going to do several different things. It says a carapace of steel. What is a carapace? So the first thing is when the robot has the force field active, you're going to get more speed. So this is going to be a drone that only works with certain types of robots. I mean, this is really going to be mainly designed for the Teth Robot. All right, so the next thing is on deployment durability. So from the time your robot drops into the battle to the time it dies, this drone will give you extra durability. It's going to give you more damage for EMP. So damage to the enemy is increased if they are infected by the EMP. So this is going to be really good for robots with an EMP. And it also has a physical shield skill, so it increases the strength of the robot's physical shield. So if you look at these skills, I mean, honestly, there's not going to be that many robots that this works with. So this is pretty much a Teth only drone. I mean, you could probably put this on something else, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work on most robots when you look at these skills. So that's probably a drone that's really going to be specialized for this robot and not great for most other robots. there is going to be a Best Neferu pilot coming out for the Teth. So every time you teleport, you gain 20% boost to your movement speed and 10% boost to weapon damage that lasts for 7 seconds. So every time you teleport, you get 7 seconds of boost right there. So that's what that pilot is going to do. All right, so next up, we have the big controversial sword unit. The ultimate sword unit is coming out. Now, the guy who designed the sword unit is the guy who designs the Gundams. They've got some sort of collaboration thing with him going. And my thinking is, once the collaboration period is over, they're probably not going to be able to release this sword later. That's probably why they're doing it now. I don't think they're going to make a habit of making brand new ultimate robots, but I think it's now or never with this, which is why they're releasing it. Personally, I don't think I want to see an ultimate sword on the battlefield at the moment, but we're going to see it. So it is what it is. It's coming out. There's not much we can do about it. It's a thing. So let's move on. Let's move on. It's just going to be a crazy robot. Now, this is something I was not expecting. The Ultimate Arm L85 and the Ultimate Arm M82. So there are going to be ultimate versions of the arm weapons coming out as well. So that was not something I was expecting. I knew the Ultimate Robot was coming out, but I did not know the ultimate weapons were coming out. So here's the stats on those things. You can check those out. That's the deal right there. So yeah. Ultimate Sword Robot and Ultimate Arm Weapons will be on the next update at some point. Of course, these things are not easy to get. You're probably not going to see that many of these things out on the battlefield, but you know, some people will have them. So be on the lookout for these things. They're going to be dangerous. They're going to be scary. They're going to be nasty. And yeah. All right. That's happening. That's a thing, unfortunately. And of course, there's going to be an ultimate pilot for the ultimate sword, and will gains increased flight speed and enhanced weapon damage. So that's going to fly faster, and it's going to beat you up even faster if it has this pilot. Great. Just what we need, right? A big old rebalance, and then something super, super overpowered after the rebalance. So this thing is going to be a monster. It's going to be a complete monster on the battlefield after they rebalance everything. And then this is coming out stronger than ever. So yeah, that's a little bit scary, to tell you the truth. All right, so next up we have the Sekhem Ship. I don't know, some sort of Egyptian ship here. A flying bastion engineered by Yandi Corporation as the pinnacle of direct warfare. It unleashes a massive bombardment from the sky, drenching the battlefield in golden fire. The lingering energy slows down the enemies, trapping them in the wake of the engineered annihilation. All right, so it unleashes a barrage of projectiles around the selected target in expanding concentric circles. Each projectile creates the impact zone on landing, dealing damage over time and applying slowdown to the enemies caught within. So this is going to be pretty crazy, pretty ridiculous. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I like the Egyptian theme. The Egyptian theme is very cool, but yeah, this is going to be nasty, super nasty, and I don't think I'm going to be looking forward to being hit by this thing. Not at all. We got some interesting changes coming to this map here. It's going to the map's basically going to fill up with some sort of green slime that damages you, or an acid. So this is going to get interesting playing on this map. I know they're going to be working on making interactive things on a lot of these maps. Like we're going to be having a flying dreadnought map. We're going to be having an aircraft carrier that sinks at some point in time. So they're working on making the maps more interactive, at least some of them, probably not all of them, but yeah, we're going to get this new tactical shift thing on the factory chemical spill map, or whatever you want to call it. So basically, chemicals are going to come out of those pipes randomly during the battle, and basically if you stand in this stuff, it's going to eat up your robot and kill it. So that's going to make things hard when you're trying to get beacons. I mean, it's going to fill up the whole center of the map, it looks like. And my gosh, green nasty toilet water is going to be spraying everywhere. And, you know, I mean, that's gross. That's really gross. Green nasty toilet water everywhere. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. Better get your toilet brush because you're going to have to scrub your robot. Yuck. Gross. Nasty. All right, so this is where things get really interesting. So that's all the new stuff being added, but now we're getting into the balance changes. And I mean, there's so much on this list. I'm not going to read all this off. Being a dyslexic guy, yeah, you don't want to listen to me read something for an hour. So let's just pull each one of these rebalances up on the screen, and you can read what happens with it or what it does or what gets rebalanced yourself, because yeah, that's too much for a dyslexic guy that's bad at reading. So yeah. So the first thing is all tier 4 weapons are going to be reduced in damage. I think they were supposed to lose about 10%. It doesn't actually say how much, but all tier 4 weapons are getting a damage reduction on every tier 4 weapon in the game. So if it's not listed on this list, it's still getting some sort of a damage decrease. All right, excessive damage multiplication in popular robots like Ravager and Leo will be toned down. So those robots will not be getting those huge, gigantic damage bonuses anymore that are destroying you from 8,000 meters away across the map. So that's something I'm kind of looking forward to. And combat rules and relative power levels of popular builds will remain largely unchanged. The sword will continue to have the highest damage potential. So what they're saying is, even though some of these things are being rebalanced, the newer items are still going to be the better items after the rebalance. All right, so first up on the list, we have the Ravager. It is getting a big old nasty rebalance. So if you want to read through that or pause this if you need to, that's what's being rebalanced on the Ravager right there. So let's go ahead and move on. Like I said, pause it if you need to. I'm not going to read all this stuff because I am bad at reading. Next up, we have the Samjock. It is getting a major rebalance. So that thing is going to get hit pretty hard, it looks like. It's losing a lot of stuff. So Samjock, big giant rebalance. Next up, we have a rebalance on the Ducks. So that is taking a major hit as well. The Ducks is probably not going to be the crazy robot it is anymore. Again, pause this if you need to. The Condor is getting a rebalance, so yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if the Condor is still good. Unfortunately, the Raptor is getting hit pretty hard, so that's what's happening to the Raptor right there. It's still probably going to be a good robot, but we'll find out. We will find out, right? That's what's going on. The new Leo robot is getting rebalanced, so even the brand new stuff, the Leo and the Nuo right there, are both being downgraded. I mean, they're both crazy strong, so I guess I kind of get it. But, you know, it's amazing to see that the brand new things that just came out are part of a rebalance. So probably about every 6 months, you could expect to see a big rebalance. Probably around like January. So the first month of the year and the 6th month of the year, somewhere in that ballpark is about where you can expect to see these rebalances. But yeah. The Swords unit, right? The newest robot is getting a rebalance. Of course, the ultimate's going to be crazy, but that's being rebalanced. Now, the Orochi is getting a buff, right? Those were all being downgraded, but the Orochi is being upgraded and made better. The Demeter is being upgraded and made better. The Hawk is being upgraded and made better. So not everything is getting rebalanced in a negative way, but some things are getting a upgrade instead of a downgrade. Next up, the Shell, the Revenant, and the Fenrir. Those 3 robots right there are getting buffed, so those are getting improvements, which will be great. Oh, I said Fenrir. That's Fafnir. I'm sorry. That is not the Fenrir. I know I just got some people's hopes up, but I am a bad reader, and that says Fafnir. So the Fafnir is getting a whole bunch of bonus speed, right? Revenant's getting more durability. So I think some of these changes are good, but some of these I know some people are going to be a little disappointed with. But anyways, the Mauler. So now we're moving on to the Titan rebalances. We're getting a big disgrade, a big downgrade. Shut up, dannylightning. Just whatever. All right, Mauler, downgraded by a lot. Devourer, downgraded by... There's all kinds of stuff being changed on the Devourer. I'm not really sure how good these things are going to be. I mean, you can read the numbers here, but the numbers don't really tell you how it's going to perform on the battlefield, right? They might give you a good idea, but sometimes you might go out there and be like, oh, it's worse than I thought, or it's not as bad as I thought, and I still like playing this. So that can go either way, but we won't know for sure how this affects these things until we get to try it, right? The Bagalier is getting a small downgrade. Actually, that's a pretty big downgrade. 19,800 to 9,900. Ooh, that weapon damage from that sniper weapon is, my God, that's going to lose like half the damage or something. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. All right, yeah, all tier 4 weapons being downgraded by 10% per particle. So everything that hits you is going to do 10% less damage. So yeah, that's the deal with that. The regulator weapons are getting a big nerf, so those are being downgraded. The Screamer, the Heller, and the Growler, those are getting, I guess, so it looks like those are getting a nerf and a buff, but overall, I think it's probably going to be a nerf, unfortunately. So the Discipline and the Smites, those are getting downgraded in a lot of different ways. The Kirin, the Mogwin, and the Ganguel, those are getting downgraded by a lot. We have the Lanani weapons. Those brand new weapons are getting downgrades. I mean, there might be a couple things that are getting downgraded and upgraded at the same time, but I think they're going to be overall downgrades. The new arm weapons, those are getting downgraded right there. The Gauss, the Volt, and the Weber, that's kind of a bummer. I mean, those are doing a lot of damage, but it's a little bit of a bummer that those are getting downgraded. I mean, those are really old weapons. I wasn't expecting to see those get hit, to tell you the truth, but they're getting hit. The Prismas, downgrading the Prismas, which is probably a good and a bad thing at the same time. It's bad if you're somebody who likes to play Prismas. It's good if you don't like getting hit by Prismas from all the way across the map. The new gas units, I mean, personally, I don't think these were good in the first place, but they're going from a 200,000 shield to a 125. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's going to make the gas units completely worthless. So those brand new gas units, I would say those are probably going down the crapper right quick down the crapper. That's all I got to say about that. The Fangbo, the Lemming, and the Shifeng weapons, those are getting a big old balance change. The Marana, the Shion, and the Jotuns, those are getting a big old balance change. The way they got this set up, I'm having a little bit hard time reading this thing, but I think that means they're getting a decrease in damage right there. The Hawanji, the Yoji, and the Deja weapons are getting a... I mean, these weapons suck in the first place, but they're going from 1,100 meters to 800 meters. I've been playing those weapons on one of my robots the last couple of days. The range is amazing. The damage is subpar. The damage is mediocre. And I mean, the only thing those things really had going for them is they had a lot of range. So now they're going to lose some of their range. And I don't know. Ultimate Havocs, those were probably the strongest weapons in the game. And it looks like those are being rebalanced. So they are going to downgrade the Ultimate Havocs. Like, I hate to say it, but they probably needed it because every time I got shot with Ultimate Havocs, 2 or 3 shots, whatever robot I was playing, even my Titans were pretty much dead. So, I mean, they're just brutal. So I guess it makes sense. Ultimate Shredder is getting a damage reduction. Personally, I don't think that needed it, but it's getting a damage reduction. Ultimate Shock Train damage reduction. Ultimate Hussar, Ultimate Dragoon is getting, ooh, that's a pretty big damage reduction right there. So the Ultimate Hussar and Ultimate Dragoons are getting downgraded pretty bad. Next, we have the Titan weapons, the Anguisher and the Runer. Those are getting rebalanced. I see some pretty big downgrades right there. The Huggin and the Moonin getting some pretty big downgrades. The Maha Vajra, I'm not really sure why they're messing with those, but basically those are getting some upgrades and some downgrades. I mean, basically it's going to be an overall downgrade, I think. So So I think the spread is going to be reduced by, I mean that, look, by 0.1. I mean, that's not much. So 0.115 to 0.1, I don't think that's going to do much, honestly, but they're going to do a lot less damage. So those old weapons, you know, you may or may not like playing them anymore after this happens. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I don't know. Arbiter Equalizer, those are getting a big rebalance. So those are getting downgraded. The Inferno and Pyros are getting downgraded by what looks like a lot. The Ultimate Groms are getting a big damage reduction. And then they're going to downgrade some drones as well. So the Moderator drone is getting a pretty big rebalance. So now we're moving on to the drones, right? The Aopo drone is getting a really big rebalance. Again, pause these things. You know, if you need to read what's on the screen, just pause these things. But Aopo, big rebalance. Webby and the Wave, both of those are getting big rebalances, right? I mean, everything. The Hawkeye drone is getting a rebalance. The War D drone is getting a rebalance. The Shy drone is getting a rebalance. The Seeker drone is getting a rebalance. I mean, this is just pretty crazy. So yeah, Seeker is going from 250 down to 200. Man, there's going to be a bunch of motherships and turrets being rebalanced. I mean, this is probably the biggest rebalance that the world has ever seen. So the Frederick mothership rebalance, sonic bomb cannon rebalance, durability extender rebalance. So all three of those things right there. The enhanced, oh, I just messed it up. Oh my gosh, the enhanced Aegis system rebalance. So there's a lot of things getting changed. It's crazy. And the Ravager pilot is going to be downgraded big time. So those are the changes right there. The Devourer pilot is also being downgraded big time. So those pilots are taking a big hit. My gosh, this is all nutso. And then finally we get to the technical fixes, if I could speak. They fixed a bug where available pilots wouldn't display in the My Pilots tab. They fixed a bug where the task count and timer wouldn't display in the Clan Task tab. They fixed various crash cases on Android and iOS. They improved optimization for downloading update files. They improved optimization for various pop-up windows to the hangar. Now, I did hear something that there were going to be some fixes or some improvements in the amount of lag some people were seeing. I don't see this listed, so hopefully that's something that's actually happening. Now, I do hear a bunch of rumors and this and that and other things, and some people say this and some people say that. I do believe I hear there is a possible fix to some of the lag coming out. Don't quote me on that one. I'm hoping what I heard about that was true, but there may or may not be a lag fix. We'll find out. But I was kind of expecting to see something here about the lag, but I'm not actually seeing it in the technical fixes, which is kind of disappointing because that was one of the main things I wanted to see was less lag in the game. And if it's not on here, that means maybe it's not actually happening like I thought it was going to be happening. But yeah. Okay, so here's the deal, right? After they rebalance the game, that's going to really balance out the gameplay and make the game feel a lot better overall. I mean, everybody's hangars are getting nerfed. The problem is, though, you're going to have everything getting downgraded and feeling balanced or at least decent, right? Everything is going to be feeling pretty flat across the board, I think, after the rebalances. But the problem is you're going to have the ultimate sword running around. Problem number 2 is how strong, how durable, how tough, how much damage is the new robot and the new weapons going to do? So if you have everything downgraded and it's down here, then you have the ultimate sword that's like way off the charts. And then the new Teth Robot, is that going to be crazy overpowered? Is that going to be ultimate overpowered? Or is that going to feel somewhat balanced? I don't know. The ultimate sword unit, on the other hand, I guarantee you that's not going to be balanced whatsoever. The ultimate Arm L weapons and the ultimate Arm M weapons, those are not going to feel balanced. They're going to feel 9,000 times more overpowered than everything that just got rebalanced. So that's going to be terrible dealing with those after everything else gets downgraded. Now, personally, I'm all about a true rebalance that truly balances the game out, which is kind of what we're getting until you bring those new things in there. When you bring the ultimate sword and the ultimate arm weapons, that's going to be the one item that's just going to be redonkulous and just ripping everything else to shreds, and nothing's going to be able to stand a chance against it. And then, of course, if the Teth unit is super overpowered, which it very well might be, or it could be a little bit more balanced. I mean, if they bring stuff out that's new, that's a little bit better than everything else, that's fine. I get it, right? They always want to make the new stuff better, but I'm hoping the new stuff isn't this much better. You see what I'm saying here? Better is fine. Crazy, ridiculous, redonkulous, super overpowered, doing massive obliterating damage, that's not good when everything else has been leveled out and balanced. So we don't need one thing at a 5 and everything else at a 30, if you know what I'm saying here. A rebalance is truly only going to make the game feel better if everything in the game is actually balanced. So I think we're going to have at least one item that's way out of balance, and the new Teth Robot is possibly going to be out of balance. I could be wrong about that. It may be very balanced. It might not be the crazy thing we think it's going to be, but then again, it could be. But the sword unit and the ultimate arms, those are just going to be wreaking havoc on the battlefield for anybody who has one. So that is something to be very afraid of. That thing is just going to come in and tear you to pieces, to where everything else is just going to be feeling like average and normal now. So yeah, but that's pretty much my take on this whole thing and how it's probably going to go down, or how it's possibly going to go down. But I do think the ultimate sword and the ultimate arms are going to be a big problem on the battlefield, where everything else is just feeling, you know, decent to average. So yeah. But anyways, that's pretty much the deal. Thank you for watching my crazy videos. I definitely appreciate it. Huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much. Your guys' support really does help the channel out a lot. Channel memberships are just a couple of bucks. So if you're interested in joining, hey, click the little join button right below the video. It definitely helps the channel out big time. We really appreciate it. If you check the video's description or the pinned comment, you'll see my affiliate links where you can get some really amazing stuff. You'll see the dannylightning merch store and some other ways to help support the channel and all kinds of amazing stuff. So check that out if you're interested. If not, that's okay too. But even just watching more of my videos helps this channel more than you could ever imagine. So hey, if you got some time, maybe grab one of my playlists, press the play button, or just watch one of these other videos that are probably up there on the screen right now. You can just click on one of those and watch some more videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. You guys and gals are awesome. Have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. See ya. Huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for the extra support. It really helps this channel keep running and bringing you videos just like this. If you check out the pinned comment or the video's description, you'll see my affiliate links where you can get some really amazing stuff, from lighting, cameras, microphones, stuff for your kitchen, stuff to make your room look cool, and all kinds of amazing stuff. And if you enjoyed this video, maybe watch one of these other videos that are just about to pop up on the screen here in just a second. Thank you so much for watching. You guys and gals are amazing. Lightning out. Have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next time. See ya.